questions, comments? Join us live right here on the FearFishing Experiment. comments? Join us live right here on the FearFishing Experiment.
Report suspicious activities and call 911 for immediate response. Expect delays, searches of personal property, and restricted access to public buildings. Expect traffic delays and restrictions.
Oh, jumping, that's a football. Man, on a smallmouth bass. Hold that up, shot! Oh my gosh, that's a big fish.
You know what? It turned out into like cinematic genius. Just beautiful.
The idea is just keep rolling.
Navigating your way on and off the water. Now, here's your host, Ian.
Good
West.
evening, everyone. Welcome to an all-new FearFishing Experiment. The boys are in the house. How's it going, guys?
We're in our own house. It's all good, man. How are you?
I'm excellent. Doing a little social distancing in the studio. That was the longest 5 minutes ever.
Yeah.
And the quietest. I wasn't even sure if my earbuds were working.
I think Woody muted us, I think.
No,
He knows better.
I think it's Ian's
I was
earpods
kidding.
are all frozen up again.
Oh, geez.
Are they good now? Are they working?
Remember that buzz we had earlier in the test?
Yeah.
I don't hear it on my end. Yeah, I don't hear it on my end, man.
Okay.
Woody is back. How's it going, Woody?
Oh, I'm living the dream, having some fun over here in Isolationville. Got some nice green lights behind me.
Hey, you look like you're way up north.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
The old Aurora Borealis.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost.
I got a
We lost
question
Ian
for.
there.
Oh, we lost? No, you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're cutting in and out, though, bud.
Oh,
Carry on.
no. Okay, so Woody, you're a world traveler. You travel a lot for work. What has it been like to be home for so long?
Oh, it's been crazy. I've been on the ground longer in my life than I have in the last 15, 20 years. It's crazy.
Wow.
Spending lots of
Yeah.
time with family, though. Man, the house projects, and it's endless. I'm also super bored, though.
Oh, yeah, me too. I'm just blaming the lack of house projects. 'Cause, I can't get supplies right now. It's not safe.
Getting any kind of supplies is tough.
You can still do it, but,
Mark and I
motivation
actually got out to do a pretty cool project. We socially distanced all the way up to the hunting camp today.
Yeah, we did.
And our buddy Cooper Gallant, he's got a cooped up trick shot challenge that he's put out there. He's got a really nice mercury pack and tackle pack that he's giving away there. And it's all about doing your best trick shot with your fishing rod. So Mark and I both went up there today. We got both of ours shot and posted for him. So if anybody's interested, just check out Cooper Gallant Fishing and watch his video to get in on this.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to try to do one this week. I told
And while you're at it, subscribe to my YouTube or my channel or my whatever it is for
him.
Instagram. Subscribe. 'Cause I'm at that stall again.
Follow?
Like a growth and then a stall and stuff.
Follow?
I'm in a stall right now. Yeah.
Hey,
What's your Instagram name?
sorry guys, everybody out there, can they hear this okay? We should do an audio check. Sorry, before you get going.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's commenting here on YouTube. I'm watching the YouTube. Sean's watching the Facebook. I haven't seen anybody say they can't hear us, so I think we're good. We'll tell you something though. It seems the Facebook leg slower than YouTube.
Okay, cool.
Crazy, eh?
I'm getting
You guys can
really
hear me?
robot sound on my end, but if you guys hear everything, then let's do this.
Cool.
Boys, it's been a crazy couple weeks.
It has been
For doing
There's-
nothing,
there's
it's
a
been
lot-
crazy. Yeah.
crazy.
There's been a lot of fish, not to fish. It's been crazy.
You're cutting out big time on me there, bud. I don't know about the other guys, but
Yeah, no, he's cutting out on me too. You guys are good.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
you're good too.
Okay, you guys got to talk for a minute before I can switch rooms.
No problem.
Okay. All right.
Well, I'll tell you something cool that happened to me the other day from the pretty cool people at Empire Hunting. I subscribed to their Instagram page, Mark, and
Yeah?
yeah,
Nice.
and I signed up for one of their contests. It was a like and share kind of deal. Won this pretty sweet hat.
It is a sweet hat.
Yep. I went and did the old porch pickup and had a social distancing talk with the guy at the end of his driveway. Super
Nice.
cool hat. So if you guys get a chance, check it out. Empire_hunting on Instagram. Super cool gear. And
Yeah, it's a nice hat. I've seen that hat. It's a beautiful hat.
yeah, it's pretty sweet. You know, you know what I was looking forward to? The Rapella Quinny Gold series, the walleye series they're going to run this year. They've actually pushed their first tournament from May 16th to June 13th for the time being. So that's one series I'm really looking forward to watching this year. Unfortunately, they pushed their first event already, but I'm really looking forward to that. You never know, may see one of us out competing in that.
And let's face it, they're not the only ones that have canceled out, like, right? So everything that's, I would say, before June even has already been canceled officially. All the events that I knew that were going on, Canada, US walleyes canceled.
Well, they came out the
The
other
salmon
day,
derby's canceled.
Yep. They came out the other day and pushed ICAST.
Yep.
Right. They've canceled the in-person part of ICAST. They're planning on doing a bunch of virtual stuff, which is going to be really cool. Really looking forward to seeing what the companies come up with that.
So that's
Ian,
mean
you back?
does that mean everybody's going to be able to see it then? Like, it's not just for industry people since it's online. It's going to be like open to everybody. Like, give us something to look at.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that would be super cool idea to do this year to give people an insight on what's actually at ICAST and
Absolutely.
what on there. That would be really cool. I don't see why they wouldn't do something like that.
Because just
Boys,
so
can
that
you hear
people
me
know
better
that.
now?
Yes.
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah, you can hear me better?
Can
Yeah.
hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. To that other side of the studio with the no Wi-Fi.
Sweet.
We're good. If you guys can hear me
No.
now, we're good. Says like I got full.
Yeah, we're
No?
still,
No,
we're
you're
still
still
getting a bit of a
cracking up.
delay from Ian.
Yeah.
Really, we're scratching. Okay, let me change spots again.
Talk
You
soon.
guys just
All
keep
right.
talking. Just keep talking.
Okay. We're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it.
So you guys
So
went up north today?
We did.
Yeah, we went up to the hunting camp today. Mark followed me up in his truck. I led.
I'll tell you, there's not
There
a
it is.
rear end I'd rather be behind in the whole fishing industry. Let me tell you,
There you
Yeah.
go.
it was a pleasure to stare at it for an hour and a half.
Yeah, we went up there, and first thing we did, like, because we're kind of short on time today, we had to get back for tonight, and we got out there, and I had a plan for mine. I've already posted mine. Mine was a little bit of a process by the time we got it shot, and we ended up losing my dog for an hour.
Yeah, we did. We spent a good hour looking for his dog.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I don't know.
There was
I don't
there was
know.
a gun involved, right? So she did not like that at all.
Yeah, I don't know how many people have dogs out there, but you come home to your girlfriend without her dog, and how many more days are you gonna live? Right?
That's right. Well, I already said there's
Doesn't
no way
matter
we're
the boat
leaving here
launches are
without Sadie. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But luckily we found her. Well, she came back. I wouldn't say we found her.
Soaking wet.
Yeah.
Muddy.
She
Yeah.
went for a rip through the swamp.
Yeah, she did.
Luckily she came back, and I was able to bring her home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's rip through here.
Yeah, it was a scary thing, man. Scary thing.
Yeah, it was really scary. I love that dog like a child.
Yeah.
And if I was to lose it, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. I'd be up there looking for her.
And the best part, buddy, is I think I hit my step count for the first time in 6 weeks. So working out.
10,000 steps.
Gentlemen, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Is that better?
That's
Yeah,
much better so
A
far.
lot
Yeah.
better.
All right. Sorry about that, everybody at home. I'm trying to follow everything and try to get this to work. I'm glad you found the dog. I actually called while you guys were searching for the dog, so I'm glad you guys were able to find Sadie.
Yeah,
It was tense, man, real
it was
tense.
a big plus to my day.
Like Sean went one way in the woods and I went the other way. Like we called for a dog.
That's
It
crazy.
was scary. Yeah.
Hey, who's watching the Facebook comments?
I'm watching the Facebook comments.
All right, we've got someone that really wants to start talking about fishing.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
I saw it, and we're getting it here too. People are getting really deep, and they want to get into this conversation. Did Mr. Rob Jackson?
I've got him on standby. Yeah.
All right, we might as well bring Rob in, and then we can introduce him. Rob is angler from Ottawa, guides. Used to be the MC for the Renegade Tour. All-around great guy. So we thought we would bring in somebody else's opinion, so it's not just ours. Mr. Rob Jackson. Is he there?
Can you hear us, Rob?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Here we go. Here he comes. Yes.
I decided to go with a flat brim just for you, Ian.
That a boy. I'm actually wearing.
Oh, all right. I can't wear that crap. Sorry, dude.
How are you, sir?
I'm great. Great to chat with you. And before we get going, thanks to you guys for doing this stuff when you do it, because we're all starving for something to watch. You guys are doing stuff. So the fact that we can tune in and watch, even if it's nonsense, it's something, right? Like,
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though there's only so much Tiger King we can watch, and everything. Like, enough's enough, right? But
Carol
Yeah,
Baskin totally killed her husband, by the way.
Yeah, she did.
no doubt about it. No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she created COVID too. Yeah.
I heard that. I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Has to be real. So how do we want to get this started there, Mr. McCall? You're the one.
Right. Well,
should we all give our opinions first and where we're at on this?
well, let's
say the
explain
backstory, and then we'll hit that.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's explain it a little bit first. So Angelo Viola, everybody in the fishing industry knows who Angelo Viola is. He's, been in the industry for over 30 years. He's got a mountain of respect throughout this industry. He's amazing at what he does. He's a big voice for us in the fishing industry, and he's got a radio show that he does on the Fan 590 on Saturday mornings, and he had on last Saturday, the Saturday that passed before this past Saturday, he had on the Ministry of Natural Resource, the Minister of Natural Resources and Forestry, Mr. John Yakubuski, and they had a conversation about whether or not the season should be open. And everybody knows that the opinion of the ministry is that the season is a go ahead. There's no change there. And Angelo, he disagrees. He thinks that the season should be closed. So after that radio show, Angelo sat down and he wrote an article which he posted on the 15th. And the article didn't seem to be so well received throughout the angling community. It was it raised a lot of controversy, raised a lot of conversation. Personally, I've never seen so many disrespectful remarks in my life. Like stuff that's uncalled for. It's just not right. But Angelo, he put out this post. We're going to talk about it. And within a couple of hours, the Outdoor Canada editor-in-chief Patrick Walsh also released an article. And I've got to be led to believe that this article was released to kind of damage control, maybe kind of combat that post, because he directly talks about that post in his article. So let's start talking about it.
Well, here's the first thing before we even get started. We're not all on the same opinion here. I am not 100% convinced either way that I should fish or I shouldn't fish, and I have lots of questions. But we're all going to respect each other, and that's the main thing through all this, is that you can disagree and you maybe have a conversation about something and disagree with people, but as long as everybody's following the law, There's no need to get nasty with each other.
Exactly. Well, us four having this conversation right now, there's no doubt in my mind that at the end of this, we're all still going to be friends.
Yes, and that's important too. And people like sometimes when people are posting stuff, they forget that.
And I
Right.
think right here, like there's 4 guys here, and I think there's probably 4 different opinions. You know, I don't think we
Absolutely.
all
Sure
agree
there
on
is.
the same.
There's 5
You know
here
what I mean?
because even Woody, who's not an angler, still has an opinion on Ontario and people being out,
Absolutely.
5
right?
people.
So there's 5 people.
Yeah.
Now,
So my kind of take on it early on, and I was kind of beating the drum, and I took it on the chin quite a bit too.
yeah,
When I was saying like, what part of stay home do guys not understand? Like, I was beating that drum like weeks ago.
Yeah, you were hard on it.
yeah,
I
Oh,
took
yeah,
it
you're
on
hard.
the chin, right? Like, but my argument to it, all of it is that I just wanted the fighting to stop. Like Angelo getting buried like that. Angelo's not the only person that feels like that. He's stuck his
No.
and he's got a set like that to do it, like 100%. And he took it on the chin, and guys are saying they're never going to watch his show again, and everything else. But he's not alone in that thinking, right? Like the guys.
I know, but Rob, coming from another angler, I think his wording was totally way off, and he painted a bad picture of his fellow angler. I'm not saying his message was wrong, but his delivery was wrong.
And if he had a do-over, if he had a mulligan, he'd probably do it. If I had,
I agree.
But I think in the end, I think his heart was in the right spot. Is what he's. If I had to guess, he's afraid of what's going to happen next weekend when the media goes down to those creeks.
For sure.
100%.
Right? And if they show guys, you know how the media is, like we've all seen how that is, right?
Yeah.
And the first 10 guys standing together, and that's what they're going to video, and they're going to make all of them out to be complete Neanderthals. And that's my thinking of where Angelo wanted that situation, because I think in a boat we can get away from each other, but in that situation they can't, right? And we all know, like up here, I'm an hours from that, so it doesn't even impact me whatsoever. You guys are right there, and you know that's what's going to happen next weekend.
I am about 6 blocks from the Ganaraska River, from the heart of it.
I'm a 3-minute walk through bush and field to get to the Bowmanville Creek from my house. That's one of the reasons I bought this house, because it was so close to the creek.
I did some investigating today, and I can give everybody I called the police station in Port Hope. I talked to the one of the sergeants there and a media person. She didn't really talk, but I could hear her in the background answering some questions. There's a green space. Basically, the town of Port Hope and the GRC, the Ganaraska Conservation Authority, own from most of the river that is not private property. If you get as of right now, and they assured me that things could change by the hour. This is what they had right now. If you went down, fishing is not open in the top half of the river. If you went down now where it's posted, no fishing because of COVID-19. If you walk across that green space, you're up for an $880 fine, plus local bylaw fines that'll be tacked onto that. As of right now, they haven't passed this, but moving forward, the plan is to make that green zone effective for openers. So if you're down in the river in town, south of the dam, you're going to look at an $880 fine.
Wow.
Now, they also said that you're going to have to call to keep updated, because this information
they
changes
also
daily,
said
right?
tomorrow there's going to be a vote, and basically the town is going to try and pass the bill saying that this green zone, all their trails, all their boardwalks, everything that they own becomes this green zone. But it's not just anglers, it's walkers, people playing, it's everybody. So they're not trying to single out the anglers. They're going to make it across the board. Living in this town, my town, and as much as I love fishing and love river fishing and having people to the community, I can tell you that over half the population is elderly people. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of kids in
a lot of
this
retirees
area.
and stuff.
Retirees. I can think of 5 or 6 nursing homes off the top
People
of
that
my
are pretty
head.
much directly affected by this.
That's right. The other thing about Port Hope is an old town that isn't like, they won't let the Walmart come in here. They're not looking for Canadian Tire. They're not looking to bring business here. But they're not trying to gather in this crowd. They're like, and right now, especially because they're trying to keep it a heritage town, they just don't want people to come here and infect the local citizens.
Yeah, I get it. I think I have two fears, I'll call it, throughout this whole thing. My first one is that all fishing is going to be held under the same umbrella. So they're going to
Yes.
treat lake fishing like they're going to treat creek fishing, shore fishing, whatever. My second fear is that this Saturday or Friday night, whatever you want to call it, is going to be the make or break of fishing, because there's going to be so many eyes from so many places. Some people are looking for bad. So I just want, please, everybody, just do your social distancing thing. That's all we ask, man.
Well, and ultimately,
I think that's why Angelo wrote that, right? Just so guys are aware, because like,
yeah,
and look good, boys, because the media is coming for sure.
Absolutely.
All those creeks.
I can guarantee you, if you go to Port Hope municipal pages on Facebook, everybody who's not an angler is looking to find people fishing. They are going to search high and low with their video cameras on Saturday and Sunday.
well, Ian, why don't you tell the story? Why don't you tell the story of what happened to you yesterday?
Yes.
So here's yesterday. I live in Port Hope. I've lived here my entire life. I was actually born 3 blocks from here in the old Port Hope Hospital that's now a nursing home. Amber and I were going to go for like a Sunday drive because it gets boring in the house. I had to get gas in the truck, so we decided, hey, we'll take the truck. I drove by the river. I pulled in by the dam where it's not marked off or anything, to see if there was any signs where I could get a picture to start warning people. I never got out of my truck. I hardly even slowed down to turn around. We got gas, went for a nice little drive. I got home and my phone blew up. There was a post on a political group of Port Hope that a big black FearFishing truck covered in fishing logos.
Accessories, logos and accessories. Yeah.
She had followed me, and then she didn't abbreviate, but then like right in the sentence it said I was kind of with 4 vans and we were down climbing on the rocks at the river.
Yeah.
And all I was doing was getting gas and going for a drive. I had no intention of scoping out the river or looking at the river. I wanted to see if there was a sign we could get a quick picture out of the truck window so that I could start telling anglers. Because the Port Hope, from what I understand, has no plan to market this information.
They're just going to do it.
They're just going to do it. I have not seen any plan. I've asked people, and there's no marketing plan for you anglers other than word of mouth and, some of the guys in town who have social media, which isn't right either, right? That's kind of entrapment.
Yeah, so this kind of bugged you. So you put the post on our little chat. And we said, dude, you got to say something about this, right?
So I responded.
Yeah, you did perfect, like a gentleman, like a responsible citizen should. You were very good with your wording and everything. You got your message across, and then she rebutted, and then they took it off.
Yeah,
right?
She actually apologized.
Yeah, but then they took that whole part of it out. And you can still see her part that names FearFishing, but you can't see your comments.
But you can see Lloyd. You can see Lloyd Dome's comment.
Yes.
Oh, nice. So if people are just going to take pictures, I mean, she's not a fishing person or just a citizen in town is going to take pictures of my truck being near the river. They're going to be out next Saturday and Sunday, and we're all going to get tied in together, like that, like the good, the bad, the ugly. That's what's going to go down here next weekend.
And I think the fear is that, and Ian, I've done the opener there. I went one weekend. It wasn't my bag. I didn't enjoy it at all. But that once Saturday's over, you could go Monday and you could walk the whole creek and see 10 guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
right?
really a Saturday.
it's bedlam and then it's over, right?
Yes, 100%.
But it's 100%. It's a Saturday thing, and then it's kind of done, and that's it. But I want to look, other than the creeks, like where are we going after that, right? Like where, like up my way, it doesn't matter at all. Like right now, we have nothing going on up here. Sure, you could go and think around in some locks and catch some perch, and maybe if you get lucky, some crap swimming. But other than that, we have nothing going on up here. So for me right now, and all the guys that are beating that I want to go fishing, well, truthfully, unless I drove down to Bath on Lake Ontario, I wouldn't be fishing yet. Because frankly, it kind of sucks and there's no season open at all. So this isn't impacting me at all right now, right?
See, we do have opportunities up here, Rob. So, right. So there, I could see some people, more invested. We have pikes open all year here. We got some good crap. We got some good perch really close. So people want to go fishing here. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. You wouldn't be fishing
from an Eastern Ontario point of view, there ain't much happening up here. Now I know you guys get early stuff happening, and Lake Ontario. Like if you can fish Lake Ontario, you'd be fishing Lake Ontario.
To be perfectly honest, in my point of view, I'm not upset about the not fishing part yet. It doesn't mean I'm not going to. I'm way, way more upset about my PAL not coming in the mail. And I'm way, way more upset about them closing the Northumberland forest so I can't train my dog than I am about the fishing thing. That doesn't mean I'm the same as the, I know that as closer we get to Friday, the more I'm going to be disappointed. And by Monday, I really love going steelhead fishing. I really love the week after. Like Rob said, the people clear out. It's a very, very short drive for me to go and catch some fish after dinner or to take Ashton. That's when I think it's going to start to sink in. Right now, I'm not that angry about this.
Have the Port Hope said anything about how long this is going to be? Is this going to be for the whole trout season?
No.
Is it?
No idea. All I know is that there's a boat tomorrow for, and it may change because before it was just going to be fishing. Now it's everybody. So people may think twice about this. And I just started seeing those posts tonight that it's not just fishermen they're going to ban from the green space. It's everybody.
Yeah, that's what they're going for. They're going for to shut that down entirely. You're not allowed to walk through there, bike through there.
No, you can't do nothing.
There, anything. Shut it down completely. Yeah.
$880 if you go on their land after the vote tomorrow. And they did say to check the Facebook pages in Port Hope's municipality, because it could change tomorrow and change again Wednesday and change again Thursday and change again Saturday. And so this is something that we have to all stay on top of. And I will do my best to share whatever I see on my social media.
Yeah.
So if you went last Saturday to these same areas that they're going to close, these green areas or whatever, would there be a bunch of families there typically? And like, would it be fairly busy anyways?
There would be people walking their dogs and people walking the trails. 100%. There's probably people there today. It's not closed right now, but the fishing season's not open. That's the big difference.
Trying to avert a disaster that we know is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
and that's the sad thing, right? Like I saw a post from my buddy who owns property above us that he was out checking his turkey cams and he found 5 guys on his private property. He asked those gentlemen to leave. They said, well, we're scouting for trout. We have nowhere to trout fish. And he said, well, you can't fish here. It's private property. I own this land. And they said, well, I'd rather pay a trespassing fine than the social distancing fine in town. Which is not the answer either. I'm not telling them, like, don't trespass.
Smart guy, but not cool.
No, not cool.
To bring us back onto the topic of Angelo's post, though, like I think Patrick Walsh said it best when he wrote in his article that we have to give the anglers the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? And that is, I think, what Angelo's post took away from the angler. We weren't getting the benefit of the doubt, right? This social distancing thing has been pounded into us for the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks now. It's starting to happen. You know,
people get it.
People get it, absolutely. You know, if I was to go down to the river and I see a lineup of guys and there's 60 feet of fish, or there's 60 feet available to fish, and there's 10 guys in that 60 feet, well, guess what? I'm out. right? Like I'm going to make that decision that I'm going to have to go somewhere else and fish, but that's me making the decision. I'm going to be able to make that decision. Having somebody come in and close the season is taking that away from me and not even giving me the chance to show that I'm a responsible angler. It's just putting me in that category that I don't know what I'm doing. I can't be controlled out there. And I don't like that.
But still comes back to the root of the issue that day after day, the guy in charge of a province is saying, unless you have to go out, please stay home.
Yeah, but they're asking. It's not an order. They're asking.
Not an order. They're asking, right?
They're asking.
If you look at the numbers today, it's working. Right? So
yeah.
we just ignoring it again. Maybe we go back, maybe we lose the whole summer and this continues. I don't know what the answer is, right?
I would tell you that right now that like I said before, I'm not that upset. But if this runs into my bass season, I can tell you at that point, I'm going to start getting angry.
There'll be another show.
It won't be like this one where we're all friends at the end.
Yeah. We'll be on the same side for that one.
To close the season would affect so many of our local businesses as well. And our small tackle shops, are the small guys that put out their own baits. Like we've already lost the Peterborough Spring Fishing Show and Tackle Swap, or the Peterborough Tackle Swap and Fishing Show. That was like a huge show for us to lose. We lost the Toronto Sportsman Show, another huge show for us to lose on both the angling and hunting sides. Like angling and hunting is an $8.8 or $8.6 billion industry per year across this country. It's huge. It's huge. And to shut something like that down here would put so many people out of business. 100,000 people a year work in this industry here. 100,000.
And I think if you put the numbers up, that's more revenue and money spent than on hockey, baseball, and soccer combined.
As a recreation, not as a fan.
Yes. Yeah. We're not talking merchandise stuff here and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right.
So, and here's another thing. I think that the river fishing and the boat fishing are two separate issues. I could totally see on the river too. I've grown up here. Woody's grown up in town. Let's say there's a pool that's 10 by 10. And on a normal year, you could get 3 or 4 guys in there. Well, I get there first and I decide that I'm going to stand at the bottom of the pool and cast up so nobody can pass me because there's social distancing laws. Now somebody comes alongside enough of this and beats the snot out of me, and somebody's got to come. The police have to come in the ambulance. And
well, that's where you got to be a responsible person. You got to be an adult in this situation. Come on.
That's right. But growing up here, this is honestly what happens, and this would not shock me at all if it happened 15 times on a Saturday.
Okay.
Like that's a realistic part of this. Like this, I'm not joking.
Y'all trout fishermen are weird.
Yeah. You wear rubber pants.
They're very protective of their area, and they're passionate. And the other thing is that everybody's got a little built-up hostility. Like I don't have built-up hostility towards fishing, but if somebody knocked on my door and told me that you can't walk your pointing dog around the block, I'd be mad. Like I would be like, all right, that's my straw. Like we don't know where people's limits are here. A lot of people have been trapped in their house for 6 weeks.
And this is another point too. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest with everybody out there. Ian and Mark, you guys know this about me. Rob, you might not, but like it's a very small. My girlfriend and my brother and my sister, I think, are the only ones else that knows this about me.
You coming out?
I was thinking the same thing.
This is going to be huge. Everybody, bring the family members over. We got some here.
Yeah. No, but this is serious. I suffer from depression, right? And I get it really, really bad in the winter to a point where I'll come into the house and I'll bury my head in the corner and I won't come out of the corner for 2 days. Like that's just it is what it is. Like I would never do anything to myself. I would never hurt myself or anything like that. I love my family too much and you guys too much to ever put you through something like that, right? But that's how I feel. Now in 2012, I started to travel. In the wintertime, I started to go on a fishing trip. Every year I go, you guys know that, I'll go to Texas, I'll go to Florida. I'll take a week and I'll go. And just that one trip That few days on the water, it brings me right back to where I feel okay again. I don't take any drugs for this, right? I refuse to take any drugs, right? It's not those kind of drugs aren't my thing, but fishing and hunting, there's something about it. It makes me okay again. It's hard to explain, but that's just what it
It's
does.
not hard. It's thanks for sharing that, Sean. But
Yeah, for
that
sure.
it's therapy, 100%. Look at my daughter even wrote an article for her college paper about the therapeutic capabilities and what they're doing down in the States with fishing for actual treatment for people. So it's pretty cool, man. Fishing's a big
Going
part of
through
people's
this,
lives.
we've all really learned a lot about ourselves.
100%.
You sit at home
And-
for a
and
month, like I'm
that's
just
right.
working and I come home. I work, I come home because I'm one of them essential dudes, right? So that's all
Hey.
I'm doing. And it gets to you. Like I took a week off Facebook. I had to. I couldn't deal with it anymore. And I'm like Mr. Happy Go Lucky. Nothing really bothers me. Cheese slid off the cracker. I was done.
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with it anymore. And Sean, if you have that already, and then this is just compounding it, that's no fun, dude. I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel
Yeah, this last week has been murder on me. Murder ever since because I listened to Angelo's show. I listened to it last Saturday. Like I'm a fan of his, right? I follow his stuff.
Yeah. That broke
And,
your heart. Yeah.
And no, because when he said on the show, he brought it out on the show. He's like, I think the fishing should be closed, right? And he said it on his show. He's like, I brought that out last week. I said something last week, and I got a nasty email from a guy where he just got lambasted, right? And then I was like, oh wow, well, but this was before his post, and then he came out with this post to close the season, right? And I try to look at it from all points of view too. I totally understand where he's coming from. I 100% understand. I think that his post was written from a place of anger, fear, and frustration, right? I don't think that like he would have caught way more flies with the honey than he did with the vinegar, right?
Yeah.
I totally get how upset he is and why he wrote what he wrote, because not every guy and not everybody goes down there with a cooler of beer.
No.
And not everybody down there's a snivel and brat. But in that article, he made it sound like that.
And not everybody's going to block a hole and fight either.
That's right.
No.
That's right. So I got really offended over that. And then to see the petition at the bottom to close the season, where closing the season, I know so many friends in the industry with their businesses, it would affect them so hard. Right.
Yeah.
So it's just, being involved right throughout the industry, not just on the fishing side, but in the business side as well. It really took a toll on me.
And these are just companies we know that are going to hurt. These are people that we know. These are friends that are going to be really hurt by
Rob,
this, right?
Robin is guiding.
Yeah, perfect.
I said friends, but I guess Rob could. Rob too.
Yeah.
Like it's a cottage business to me, right? It's a part-time gig, but it's a chunk of change that I have on the books. I'm fully booked right till October, right? Like every day that I'm not working, I'm in the boat. So, and my fear is that we're talking about Saturday, but I'm talking where this goes. And I know last time you guys talked about what's going to happen with tournament season and whatever. I think the biggest challenge we're going to have is it's not going to be they're going to come out and say there's going to be no tournaments. They're not going to say that. They're going to either say you can't have any events with more than 50 people at it. Well, immediately all tournaments are done, right?
Yep.
They don't say that, but they say, okay, we're going to open things up. You can have 200 people at an event or whatever the number may be.
Yeah.
You still have to socially distance.
Yep.
You can't go fishing with your buddy.
Yeah, you can.
Truck. You can't share your boat.
Well, you can share a boat. You can share a boat. You
can
be
within 6 feet of each other.
Yeah, you can.
Not in the cockpit. Not when you're running.
Not in the
Not when
cockpit.
you're running, right?
Yeah, but it depends
theory,
on what kind of boat. Moose's boat. Moose can sit in his seat, in his driver's seat. I can sit in his back seat, and we can go. I'm 6 feet away from him, right? When we stop to fish, he's on the front. I'm on the back.
So then you're limiting it. You're limiting it to guys that have 18 plus foot boats. The guy 12 footer at his cottage, he can't fish, but we can because we have bigger boats.
No, he can fish. He just can't fish tournaments, which you can't do with a 12-foot boat anyways. So,
well, I don't want, like, I have an event 80% sold out opening day.
Yep.
And I'm on the verge of canceling it.
I'd hold off on that yet. I'd wait a
Because I
couple
don't
more
think they're-
weeks.
I'm going to wait until the end of the Emergencies Act, which is May 12th or whatever it is, and see what he says. And then
Yeah.
a decision. But you're
Well,
seeing, I saw 3 major tours canceled today, their whole seasons.
yeah. Well, on a good point of view, though, in New York, the epicenter of the American cases, they opened their boat launches today.
Yeah, they
President Trump said he doesn't see why people
did. Don't
be able
get
to go
Rob
out-
going on
why
Trump.
people shouldn't be able to go out and fish in a boat, right? So I think
It
I think
amazes me.
it's-
I have a lot of American clients. I love going down the States, but I'm telling you, you cross that river and they're a different animal than we are. 100%, right? And their attitude towards their rights and taking them away is complete.
It is.
Canadians are like, oh man, this sucks. This sucks. But okay, down they're like, this ain't happening, brother. Like, no, this is not happening. But we put up with it. Most of us do, right?
Yeah,
You know,
we
you
got
see
a
line that aren't, but it's different. It's a different ball game down there, right? Like there's lawsuits against the governor of Michigan for closing the boat ramps. Like
Yeah.
lawsuits that they're suing her against her First and Fifth Amendment rights. Is that happening?
Yeah, we don't have that here.
Yeah, we got
We have,
Matt
like, right?
Benson. Matt Benson said earlier in Georgia they're opening up the state on the 24th. Open up the whole state, I guess.
Well, in the States, it's different
Georgia.
because
Yeah.
some of the states are really ravaged by it, and some of them aren't. It's like the same thing here. You can go ahead and open up PEI. What do they have? 8 cases? Like what? Like it's going to have to be pretty regionalized. Even talk today, they might even regionalize it down to Toronto because that's where a lot of Ontario's cases are, right? So
Yeah.
how does it affect me? I'm in the middle of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
And northern
really ravaged, right?
and like really northern Ontario, Timmins, way up there. This doesn't matter at all. That like,
Well,
and I
until-
see when Doug Ford wrote that article, if you see it was like a North Bay or a Thunder Bay paper, he was talking up there. It's going to open in May. You guys are fine. Go fishing.
yeah, they're like Corona. What?
Yeah, we're not all rushing up there to go fishing.
But then
No.
he did say today when somebody asked him that, if you could allow parts of the province that are wide open, like they're fine with not a lot of cases. And he said, yeah, but that doesn't mean people from here can flock up there and then it can
That's
go.
right.
And they don't have the facilities like Kenora. It's a major problem, like major problem. You have 2 ventilators in the whole, like within 2-hour drive, right?
Oh, wow.
Suddenly people start going there, traveling there to go fishing or whatever else they're going to go to their cottages or whatever they're going to do. It's a major problem. That's what they're trying to avoid. That's why they're telling you don't go to your cottage, right? People are anyways.
Yeah. Okay, I got a great question here from Tony B. If the Ganaraska is the epicenter of opening day trout, his question is, what do you think will happen on the Bay of Quinte opener? Because the
walleye.
the other big opener is the walleye open. People flock to Trenton and Belleville to launch boats. They're lined up. There's campers. How do you think they deal with that situation 2 weeks from now? So if the Ganie opens
we're like
next
what,
Saturday,
10 days away?
2 weeks.
Well, they moved the
10 days,
Kiwanis
yeah.
tournament, right? So the Kiwanis tournaments moved back.
Cancel.
So I think they pushed it back 3 weeks or something. I don't
Oh,
think
did they? They pushed it back, not
they
canceled it
pushed it
completely.
back. They postponed it with a new date. So I think a lot of that traffic comes for that tournament, right? But there's still a pile of guys. The St. Lawrence, like Cardinal and Iroquois, it's going to be bedlam down here. But there's no ramps. Like we have no, like if I wanted to go and launch my boat today, I've wrapped my brain around it. I don't know of a ramp that I can go and use right now. Anyway,
I got a private ramp on Quinte. Sorry. What?
like if you have access to a ramp, that's different, right? But like you go to all the campgrounds, you go to your, all your marinas and all that, they're all closed. Any municipal ramp around here,
Yes,
it's all,
absolutely.
you have nowhere to.
Yeah, that's
This
another
goes
thing
up
too.
to
We got to get these
another point.
marinas open.
the marinas are open, but they've been like commercial fishing's okay, but they have said no sports fishing.
Well,
Yeah,
the
we
Well,
gotta
here's
get-
another
marina's
one.
not open. Birdie's still off. Like their marina she works at's closed.
Yeah.
The water.
They're not allowed to let their like sports. I'm not saying no sports fishing. I'm saying they're not allowed to let sport fishermen launch at their marina.
Oh, it's a major fine if you let people use your facilities right now.
Yeah.
I called the OPP this afternoon to ask, because I heard a rumor that if basically what I asked them on the phone is if I went to Sean McCall's house who lived on the lake, I didn't talk to Sean, I drove across the property, I backed my boat down on a private launch. If I got stopped by the OPP, would I get a ticket? They told me on the telephone they didn't know. They told me to go to the EMCPA, go to ontario.ca on that page and look it up to see if it was legal or not illegal. But they couldn't tell me. And I asked the lady on the phone, have you heard of any cases? And she said, no, but we do deal with a lot of calls. So it is really confusing with the actual laws versus the suggestions versus the Facebook rumors versus my uncle Terry, who's Bob, whose uncle was on Lake Simcoe and went into Canal Lake, and 93 officers stopped him and he got $14,000 worth of fines. You shouldn't drive your boat. It's really hard for the general public right now, like, to sort this out.
That's why I've been beating it for 3 weeks, saying, let's just make this really easy. Everyone will be really pissed off for like 3 days. Like in Nova Scotia, my buddy lives in Nova Scotia. They closed their season. They said, no, it's delayed. It used to be April 1st. Now it's May 1st. They bid 3 days, and then it was over.
And Nova Scotia, don't they have like nine cases or 9 deaths? I think it's 9 deaths or something in Nova Scotia.
It's not crazy, but that was the decision they made.
The numbers are minuscule.
Yeah, and they made that decision. They pissed and moaned for 3 days, and that was it. Right? And then, okay, it's now May 1st. It's what we do. But when they say, the OFH is saying, yeah, go fishing, the ministry's saying, okay, don't go fishing, or the ministry's saying, yeah, the season's not changing, and then Ford's telling everybody to stay home unless you're going for groceries, gas, or essential travel. Well, which is it?
Well, that's their recommendation, right? They're asking people, right? There's no orders to stay home. There's no orders to only travel for essentials, right? Those aren't laws, right? And that's what a lot of people are getting at in Facebook land, where somebody goes fishing, they're getting their ass torn out of them because people are like, that's not essential, right? Well, there's no law. See, if there's a law, then you can choose somebody out for breaking a law. But if I'm not breaking a law by going fishing, then I don't expect to be chewed out. It's like keeping a bass during bass season. There's 99% of the bass anglers are going to look at you and they're going to be like, oh, dude, what are you doing? But then there's that one guy who's going to be like, hey, he's within his right.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
I think if you eat a bass, you're not like, there's nothing wrong with it. You'll just go to hell.
Rob, you must be
Sure,
the guy.
choice.
Yeah. Well,
you must deal with this constantly, with people wanting to keep fish, and how do you handle that?
When I'm guiding?
Yeah, when you're guiding, I'm sure people want to keep everything they catch, right?
No, shocking. No. And it surprised me, right? Like I've had clients and we go out on Big Rito for lake trout and we catch perfect barbecue lake trout and they don't want to keep them. They're just, no, we're good.
And there's nothing wrong with keeping fish.
No, there's not.
I offer to them because I don't want that to ever go away, that you can't keep a fish. Right?
That's right. Sorry, there's nothing wrong with keeping fish when you have the conservation in mind. Like you don't keep the big spawners.
No, I tell them,
what I mean?
It's barbecue fish or you're not keeping
right.
it.
Right. Yeah. Like when we went out in November with Lloyd Dome on his charter out on the Bay of Quinte, I whacked like 43 pounds for 4 walleye. It was insane. Right. And Lloyd says we could do better than that if we fish deeper. He's like, but we won't fish that deep because every fish we pull up from there dies. So we could pull up 10 pounders nonstop, but they're going to be dead. So what's the point? Right. And us being conservationists, We
So
agree.
Sean, you don't have to fillet those. Okay? They make perfect steaks. 10-pounders to make perfect steaks.
Yeah.
I just like the cheeks, like a little
Yeah.
cheek slider.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those cheeks are like that.
I think that what we're getting at here is that you shouldn't judge a person who's not breaking the law. If they're doing something legal, that's when you should judge. You shouldn't judge. It's none of your business. When
That's
somebody
right.
breaks the law, that's when people should step in.
Right.
I don't. Getting back to the Angelo thing, I don't think Angelo should be persecuted because of his opinion.
No.
Whether you think it's right or wrong, he didn't do anything wrong. He just said a fact. It takes an awful big set of cones to come out and say that.
Well,
right?
he painted the whole industry
He
in
said
kind
it
of the
wrong.
same, and then he
And-
came
and-
out to close the season, which in turn would affect, you know, a lot
For
of
sure.
the businesses in the industry.
But we should respectfully disagree with them rather than throwing names and throwing stones.
Yes,
Yeah, there's no
absolutely.
reason to call
Right?
names
Yeah,
and stuff
like-
like that.
Absolutely.
Just because you say
Yeah.
your opinion, if it's right or wrong or misunderstood, it doesn't
Everybody's
mean that,
entitled.
That's right. I can
Yeah.
tell you this. So when you were talking about your depression stuff, I have the worst case of ADHD that I've had forever. If I would have I knew when I started hearing this coming that I had to need to kind of prepare myself that I may not fish. It's the same thing as when we've talked in the past about my routine. I never get ready for tournaments on Monday because I will get so worked up by Friday because that's all I think about. My brain just goes over and over it. If I would have convinced myself 6 weeks ago that steelheading was going to happen, I can tell you that I'd be in a lot different mood today than I am now.
For
I,
sure.
I told myself it's probably not going to happen. It's probably not going to happen. I would tell you that when I read online and I saw that my PAL was approved and it is processed, and if you don't get it in 15 days, you should call. I would tell you that I got up every day and stood at the door
You
for
did.
20 days
You did.
until I sat myself down and I said, you need to come to grips, Ian, that it's not coming. It's not worth ruining your day every day over this. It'll get here when it gets here. So I kind of feel that way with the fishing thing. That's why it's not bothering me. But it's also taken me 37 years of learning to deal with ADHD to be like, you got to talk yourself out of this. It's not the end of the world. It's nothing to scream about. It's nobody's fault. It is what it is. And I can't worry about situations that I can't control.
Right.
Right?
I tell to guys and kind of how I'm operating is I'm not fishing. I'll be brutally honest with you. I am not fishing until they open the ramps because the short opportunities down here aren't really worth the hassle anyway. So until they open the ramps, I'm not fishing. So that could be middle of May. It could be June. I don't know when that's going to be. But I'll tell you, I'm getting so much crap done around this house. Things that we've been wanting to do forever. We're getting it done. So when them ramps are open, I'm going to be very scarce around here.
Yeah.
Jim Dalton actually had a really good comment here, and you know, it's a view that I've seen many people share throughout the last 6 weeks. He writes that cheating on your wife is legal, the death penalty is legal, keeping tigers in certain states legal, keeping money that somebody drops legal, but it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do.
That's right. That is
Right?
very true.
And he's got a great point, right?
Yep.
I can totally respect that. You know, if I seen somebody drop $100 bill, I'd be the first one to pick it up and say, "Hey, you need that, or can I keep it?"
And then you'd
Right?
run.
Yeah, you got enough of these to be leaving a trail, right? But to if it's legal and you know, morally, if you don't feel that it's the right thing to do and you make that moral choice, by all means, I respect your moral choice. But if you step up and start tearing a strip off somebody on social media because of their choice to do something that is legal, that's where I see a line being crossed, right? And we
That's
as
fair.
anglers right now, we have to stick together. We have to band together, right? And we got to stop shitting on each other. I'm telling you, it's got to stop. It's bad.
100%.
Right? It's bad. The other day I seen a post, a guy was trying to sell his braided line. He had a bulk spool of 80-pound braided line.
I saw that. Yeah,
Right?
I saw that too.
There was this one guy come on there and he started ripping that this braided line's bad for fishing and this is what kills the fish, right? And another guy simply said, well, this 80-pound braided line is for muskie fishing, and it's designed so that when guys get a muskie, they can get the fish into the boat faster, so they can be released quicker, so the fish has a better chance of survival. The guy's like, that's bullshit. You believe everything you read in those fancy fishing magazines? And I was like, whoa. I was like,
But
wow.
that could be somebody on their breaking point.
Well, exactly. So
Right?
what I did, I went in, I pulled up my best friend Google. I found a very informative a science article, and I posted it for him, and I tagged him in it, and I said, you know what? I said, this is a fantastic read when you have a minute. I didn't go in there and try to tear the guy's balls off and stuff him down his throat. That's not me, right? I'd rather help the guy learn, right? And say, hey man, no, these are actually the facts. And oh wow, I didn't know that. Right on, I learned something today. There's no reason for us to be continual assholes to everybody. It's driving me crazy.
Russell Lamb just posted, you have to ignore some people's ignorances sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes
you
people
really
just
do.
get a pass, right? Like people are getting touchy. I talked the other day, Sean, Mark, and myself, that I felt this week was breaking week for a lot of people.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
that
Yes,
people
for
are
sure.
like that we're getting
This is the
close.
I've had enough moment, like right around now.
And I'm not the steelhead guys. There's a lot of, as much as I love bass fishing and as much as I like steelheading fishing, there's a lot of guys who don't have a big bass boat, and steelheading is their whole year.
absolutely.
This Saturday is the day that they are going to
That's their
catch
Super Bowl, man. That's
this,
their
and this is it.
It's our
And I
walleye
feel-
opener, our bass opener,
I feel really bad for the guy who's going to miss out.
for sure. Absolutely.
I know some
Absolutely.
people on the Ganaraska who have some private property, and I didn't even bother to ask because I thought about this as in a fact that Amber and I have an argument. We often do. How much out of 10 does this mean to you? And if Amber says it's a 10 and it's a 2 for me, Amber wins. I thought about steelheading, and if I don't go Saturday, is it a 10 or a 2 for me? Because it may not be to somebody else. And if I go call on all these places and start getting property on the river, somebody who this means a whole lot to may not get to go. Maybe one guy, maybe nobody. But I didn't ask for land. I do have land to turkey hunt. It opens Saturday. We can certainly social distance from a tree stand by yourself. So I chose that I'm going to go bow hunting for turkey. Right. So I think that if you're a 2 guy on the steelhead, don't go and jam up the few spots that are going to be available. If you're a 10 guy, I think that you should drive around and social distance and do your best to try to get out and fish. I wouldn't blame anybody who went and found somewhere legal to fish on Bowmanville or the Wilmot or any creek.
Absolutely.
And it's not my to judge.
But we cannot stress enough that so many eyes are going to be watching
right.
those guys this
Don't-
weekend.
don't
You
be holding
have
your
to,
buddy's
have
hand.
to,
Yeah,
have
that's
to,
right.
for the entire angling community, because we're all grouped into that one circle. You have to show us that you're responsible and you can do this. Because if you
That's right.
can't, we're all going to be screwed.
100%.
Yeah,
What's the bet
agreed.
on whether Doug Ford mentions fishing on Monday's press conference?
100%.
that?
What's the odds of Doug Ford mentioning Saturday's trout opener on the following Monday's press conference?
If there's bad press, I bet you it's going to be 100%.
Well, and
know
that's
what,
the sad part. If there's good press, it won't make the news.
We'll never
chat,
make the
right?
doubt it.
That's the problem, right? Like that, and that's the problem with a lot of social media stuff, and or anything in media, that usually the shitty things get shared and the good stories get skipped.
Yeah, go by the wayside.
So if we don't hear anything Monday, we'll know that it went well.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Well, there'll be lots of fines if they're saying, right?
Yeah,
and,
for
and,
sure.
and that'll be what they come out with. We had to lay so many fines this weekend because people just can't get it through their thick friggin' heads to socially distance.
My fear, like I said, is going tournament season, guiding for guys. Like I don't count on it, but I know a lot of guys that are counting on being able. That's their business. That's their livelihood, right?
Absolutely.
You know, and who's able to make that call that you can share a boat with a buddy or your truck with your buddy? Because technically, like right now, if we're following social distancing right now, the only person who's been in my truck is Birdie. That's it, right? Like I haven't seen my parents other than from 20 feet away.
Same.
Right?
Since Christmas. Yeah.
So because the boat ramp's now open, I can take my dad fishing. I don't think we're at that point, right? And if that extends and extends and extends, I don't think we're gonna, you know, I think Birdie and I will be doing a lot of fishing this summer, whether she likes it or not.
Yeah, I don't think we're that far off. I think by June, I think we'll start to see our socially distancing suggestions start to diminish. I think they'll start to let us gather. They really want to get this economy going again. It really can't sustain itself like this. You know, socially distanced economy is one thing. A full booming economy is another, right? You know, to have socially distancing right now with our economy, it's not enough. It's not enough.
Well, there's too many things that are closed, is what it is. Like,
I think that we're as Canada, we're going to watch the experiment going on in the USA right now, and if they start to ease up on things and cases go through the roof, and they have to tighten their back up,
dude, you want to see an experiment? You look at Sweden, right?
Yeah, not doing anything.
Well, no, they are
really?
doing. Yes, they are. They're doing lots, but they're not as like a lockdown situation. Sweden closed the school to older kids. Younger kids are still in school because they seem less susceptible to the virus, right? They've taken their restaurants and spaced out seating. You can still go to restaurants, sit down, but there's not a table right beside you. The table's farther away. They've banned groups of more than 50, right? So they haven't taken such a hard lockdown approach on it. They've taken a more relaxed kind of, okay, let's take this in stride kind of approach. And I'll be like, the whole world's watching what's going to happen there, because either the whole world got it wrong and they got it right, or they're going to look real bad. And their numbers right now, I'm telling you, they're not too bad.
But it seems to affect everywhere differently. Like there's other cases where countries don't have it so bad. South Korea, I believe.
Well, you got to look too at the average age you have in the area, right?
Yeah. And I think that's Port Hope's fear, is that this is like, honest to God, I don't know anybody there's no kids here for Ashton to play with, right? It like everybody on my street's an older adult. Like the neighbors from when I was 8 are still there, right? Like I'm the only guy under the age of 40 on my block. Right? Like it is an old town. And I think that's what such the worry is, right? If it was a different community with a whole bunch of young people and not so many elderly, they may be able to swing this. But I'm telling you, if it started in the retirement homes and old folks homes in Port Hope, then we would have, it would be a sad situation. And then sadly, it'd be overfishing. Right? And that's the bottom line here. When I make my decisions too, I'm weighing this on like life versus passion for myself, and all I can speak for is myself.
I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing around the house until the ramp's open. That's all. And that's the only options we really have up here. So
yeah,
it's not really affecting. I think our walleye season doesn't open until the second Saturday in May. Now we have the same morning, which is going to be an ugly gong show again, because they're going to have nowhere to launch a boat. Because all the marinas are closed, all the municipal lands closed, so the guys that can't get out are going to get out. But I see guys already asking, who has a ramp that I can use to go out for opener.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's not the secret fishing spots, it's not the secret fishing spots.
Everyone knows where to fish. You just don't know how to get there.
It's the secret boat launches that are gonna kick ass this year.
Rob, you did have an offer from someone, I can't remember the name, Christy Brown. She said that she's got a place for you, so you'd be nice to her. I think her name was Christy Brown, maybe, or
Oh,
It was earlier on in the.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crystal does have a ramp. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not fair. To me, that's not fair of me to do that.
Oh.
That's why I'm kind of laying low, right?
How is
She
that
said
not
she
fair?
you have to be nice to her first, though. So
I wouldn't see you as being unfair by going and using a private launch. If you have a means to get out there and go for a fish, then by all means. See, for me, I'm still in this mental health state, right? Like I gotta fish. Like I'm twitching. I gotta fish. You know, I feel so amazing after, like, for me to stand on the deck of a boat and just cast, right? Like I'll stand in my boat in the driveway and cast. If I could get a hit now and then, it would probably do it for me. Right? There's just something about it.
And I get the same thing. My plan is to go to my tree stand. I saw turkeys there when I was walking with Casey. I'm going to climb up in my tree stand with nobody around. There's a 91.9 to 1 shot that I'm going to shoot anything, but I would be fine there sitting there all day with my feet up watching blackbirds.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I really, and this is not just like, if anybody who knows me, I like, my deer hunting career is based on a 230-inch deer that doesn't exist. I think that it'd be a shame for my life to ever shoot a deer and not be able to go to December 31st. Every day, like, I'm totally fine. People can say whatever they want. Until I see this swamp nasty come through that looks like a moose, I've seen bucks, and I thought, well, he's not big enough not to come tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait to shoot a deer.
Do you know what I mean? But so I'm quite content, and on my scale things, that I'd rather go sit in the tree stand or my ground blind and wait for turkeys than steelhead fish on Saturday.
And the other thing that we haven't even addressed at all is that, you know, I know you guys represent some companies and I represent companies, and we've all kind of been told, I know what I've been told, and it's probably not the time to do that, right? It's straight out reality, right? Like,
it's not the time to gloat either. I'm not going to film turkey.
I can tell you right now, I have private access to a marina. I could have gone tonight and I could have filled a bucket full of crappies. I'm sure that would happen. And if I come home and I post pictures and whatever else, to me right now, it's just not the right thing to do. That's my opinion, right? It's just not, you know, because I'm thumbing my nose at people that don't have that access or the knowledge of where to go or where they can't go, right? So to me, it's not fair of me to do it. And it's not high on my priority list.
I agree the same thing. Like when I go turkey hunting on Saturday, I'm not going to do any filming for the YouTube channel until this is back to normal. I'm not going to rub it in anybody's face that I have property to go to. And I know, and I may do Instagram stories or something like that, but I know that there's lots of people who want to go and do stuff that can't do stuff, and it is going to send the wrong message. I get that too. And when I haven't filmed nothing.
There's a lot of people that want to do it right now and that can't do it, that are just feeding off watching videos, and that's how it's doing it for them right now. So don't feel bad about going out and doing something that's legal, right? And saying, hey, look, guys, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, right? Maybe there's something that you did that they haven't thought about yet, that, oh, well, you know what? I never talked to that guy down the street. Maybe I can go in his property and check that out. Maybe he'll let me sit in his woods, and maybe that would do something for somebody, right? So don't feel bad about doing something that's legal, guys.
Well,
I don't feel bad either. I don't feel bad about guys that, you know, like you were saying, Rob, that you have the access, they don't, so you feel bad because of how they're going to think. When you're launching the boat in the summer and there's a whole bunch of people on the pier and you're going out on the boat, are you not going to go in that boat because you feel bad that you can go out on your boat and they can't? Same shit.
I typically slide them some business cards.
Right. Right. But you look at the American anglers right now. I see so many American anglers still going out there saying, hey guys, we got to keep this industry going strong. Mm-hmm. We're still going out there. We're still fishing. We're practicing our social distancing. Right. Mm-hmm. And it's working for us.
And I do think if the ramps were open, guys would be fishing. Right? If the ramps were open right now, I'd probably be fishing, right?
Man,
Like,
if the ramps were open right now, it would be perfect because we're not working.
we'd all be fishing, right?
Yeah,
Right.
for sure. And maybe it's like our own mental hangups, right? Like here's an honest to God thing. After I went out and just drove my truck in town and had to deal with bad press. Right? I don't want to film a video and have half the people hate me and half the people be like, "Hey, thank God you posted something. I was getting really bored at home." Like, I don't want to deal with that at all. I'd rather just wait until we're all back in the game and we're all going to go and do this. That's another concern, right? I don't want to be bait for the fire.
I will tell you, if I shoot a turkey next Tuesday or Wednesday, you're going to hear about it.
Yeah,
Right?
same
Sure.
here. Same
Absolutely.
here.
I want to
Yeah,
hear about it. That
Yeah,
those
me
but
too.
you don't understand how happy it makes me to see my buddies successful in their fishing and hunting. Like when you shot your big buck last fall, Rob,
That was fun.
I was over the moon for you, man.
Yeah,
I was like,
we
oh my
all were.
God, he shot his first
Yeah.
giant. I'm so stoked. I picked up my phone. I called you right away.
He's right there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Awesome.
sweet.
Like I'm
was a
blessed
great
to have a
story,
couple
man.
on the wall. I know the feeling, right? Like
Ian
I-
doesn't.
I love reading those feel good stories on social media, and just lately it's just been not any feel good stories, not zero.
I would imagine Saturday morning by 8:20 a.m. You can check out my Instagram story and I'll have got bored enough to start talking on there.
Well, boys, I'm gonna have to take a quick little bathroom break here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave
you go
I'm
ahead,
gonna
Rob.
leave you with the queen here. I think you guys see
Rob.
the queen.
Can we get a final thought out of you before we let you go? We're gonna have a break. Woody, that's your cue. We're gonna have a break in a minute. What is your final thought there, Rob?
My final thought is hopefully this is all over within 3 weeks. The ramp's open. We can go fishing, keep a social distancing, and this will all be gone by July. And maybe we have some kind of a tournament season for you guys at fish tournaments. And that's all we can hope for at this point, I
I
think.
agree.
Right?
We're praying.
We're praying.
We're praying.
Yeah. A lot of disappointment, guys, if it doesn't happen. So,
Hey, thanks for talking to us tonight,
Yeah,
Rob.
yeah,
I
thank
really
you so much,
appreciate
Rob.
your
Cheers,
friendship,
Rob.
pal.
beauty. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks for being
Take care.
essential.
Best of luck. Say hi to Birdie for us.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Rob's such a good dude.
Yeah,
He's
he's a good
great
guy.
dude, man.
Yeah.
He is a super
He's
good
the
dude.
reason I went to my my first classic. Really, he was
Really?
doing that bus tour. Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I signed up for that. Then it got canceled, and we went anyways. Took little Koopy down.
Is
Yeah,
Woody
I was
still with
supposed
us?
to go. Yeah, Woody's got to be. There's his picture.
Oh yeah, I'm
I see
here.
his picture.
He's looking
Oh,
all
yeah, yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, I'm
Can we,
just.
can we do a commercial or something?
Yeah, I could try to do
Yeah.
that. You guys ready?
9:13. How long? 5 minutes?
Yeah,
Not even.
I don't know. Just
not
be
even.
start.
back.
Not even.
Just start
Not even.
waving
Not
at. Just start waving at me, and I'll know to bring you guys back.
Perfect.
Okay. All right.
Stay tuned. Hit the like button. Hit share. We'll be back with Kyle Carruthers in just a few.
Mike Carnegie is a financial advisor at Northstone Wealth, providing insurance solutions to protect you and your family. Investment solutions for all your needs, like your kids' education and your retirement. Get good advice from a good guy and also a fellow angler and trusted member of the FearFishing family.
Hi, I'm Mike Carnegie. If you want a little direction, give me a shout. 905-925-0663. See you on the water.
How did the Jack Lynx people find me? Look at this. Look at all the Jack Lynx. Just arrived on the water, loaded up for the rest of summer. Cases and cases of Jack Lynx beef jerky. I think we're ready for a little fall fishing. Nothing better than jerky and fishing.
You guys hear me?
What's going on, boys?
Not much. We're back. Mr. Carruthers.
How's it going, guys?
Man, how are you?
Well, I can't complain. Just kind of taking it easy after a long day. I think
Is that
it's
your
Monday.
big buck in the background there, I see?
Oh, this
Is
one
he a-
right here. This guy, he's huge. Look at him.
Oh, there he is.
He's got a gobbler in the background.
Yeah, it's just one of my gobblers, and got a bunch of bears and deer around me, and some other fans and
Some sheds.
ducks. Yeah, I got some nice sheds. I don't know. Got a big one. Just lots of sheds. Shed back there. Whatever. All sorts of outdoor stuff. So,
Russell Lamb just asked on YouTube. Next chat is Monday night, right? If you guys all stay tuned, I have something very special to announce for next Monday night. So stay tuned. Listen to us chat with Kyle. And next week's show is really going to be something pretty cool.
And let's remind everybody watching right now too, if you want your comments picked up, go to the original post on the Ian West Fear Fishing page and make sure you link on through that post. That way we can see all of your comments.
Now,
Yes.
well, I've got a ton of questions for Mr. Kyle. Well, maybe not a ton, but you're an industry guy.
yep.
The industry right now is going through something that they've never gone through before. How important is it right now for us to be here's another thing. The general public doesn't understand how small this fishing industry is.
For sure. No, it's small for sure. Like the actual industry part. I always use two terms, and I some people aren't going to like this, but I always use like industry, community, right? There's fishing community, and then there's actually the industry where guys, not just like guys who fish are in it, but guys who actually physically make their living, like our dealers. So I always kind of break them into two groups. You know what? It's a tough go out there for a lot of those guys right now. You got to think too. We were coming off winter, which is their slow season. It's our slow season as a fishing supplier, and then we're supposed to kind of go in when we're supposed to be getting ramped up with show season, and if the show is being canceled, and now fishing being slow, it's tough. It's tough out there for a lot of those guys, right? But my biggest piece of advice to anybody is support those dealers now. Almost every single one of them is doing curbside pickup, online ordering. They would love it if you call the store. You want to talk fishing, they can make recommendations. Some of them are busier than others. Some of them are having great sales still and all that stuff. And some of them just would have all the time in the world to talk to you, give you advice on new baits that are hitting the market, stuff they got, put together a package for you. So there's so many opportunities out there for you to really like pick some of these guys' brains, because a lot of these guys, they've been running fishing stores for years. Like, they're full of knowledge, right? They know what everyone's buying, they know what everybody's using. But support local. I know it's tough right now, and everyone's like, we're not fishing, but guys, like, we're gonna have a fishing season to some extent. So
100%.
Guys get through it now. You know what? You might be able to rush in there in June and buy a bunch of stuff, but let's help these guys get through these next few weeks. For sure.
100%.
That's a great message, man. Great message.
Yeah.
That's like Ian. Ian, last week you did a Q&A.
Yep.
With a small tackle shop.
Mac Attack Outdoors in Bancroft.
Yeah, great people up there.
That young lady, she banged that interview, man. She did her homework.
Was good, eh?
I was really, really impressed with how she handled herself on that.
It's
not easy to do.
No, it's not easy to do. It's not easy to talk in front of people. It's not easy to put yourself out there. It really isn't. And I kind of feel like some real retailers are trying new stuff, reaching out to do new stuff, because they got to generate some business somehow.
Yep.
Here's the big thing for me. Over the last forever, I really like going to the hunting fishing store in person. I don't always go in there and buy stuff, but every Monday or Tuesday, I try to go to East Hill or Gagnon's or, wherever I can go. BJ Tackle in Butley. BJ Ben's got a great selection of old crankbaits. Like, I try to go to a store in person. I really like walking around. And for a long time, I've talked about this on tons of shows. Sometimes we forget how important it is to get out. But I think that with this lockdown, I hope everybody remembers this when it opens up. Let's go hang out at the fishing and hunting store, whatever one is in your local area.
For sure. And
it's super, super, super important to support all those small guys now, and even all those people that are doing their lives on Facebook now. Like, for example, tomorrow night, I'm doing a live with Andrew Williams. He just started a little podcast. He wants to do a little fishing thing, get his word out there. And he reached out to me last week and asked if I would be interested in coming on with him. Absolutely, I'd love to talk fishing. I'll talk fishing with anybody. And I'd love to help anybody out right now in a time of need.
And it is changing out there. Like, the way that we're going to do like the way that fishing industry, not even fishing industry, how business is going to be done in general going forward will never be the same anywhere in the world. Everyone's like ramping up websites. Guys that never even had a website are ramping it up. So my message is, like, for you guys too, like, there's a lot of Canadians still that buy on Tackle Warehouse. And I know, like, some guys will use the excuse, well, nobody has these certain things what I want. There is like next to no baits that one of the distributors up here cannot source for you. And now is a perfect time to put those calls into those dealers, say, I'm looking for this. And you have time to wait to order that stuff, right? There's also a lot of new Canadian stores, shipping and doing stuff like that. I know ProJ has a lot of good stuff going on online right now. Jasper, to name just one of many dealers. I'm not going to say everybody's name. Everybody's doing really hard at it, but I just saw him posted some stuff a few minutes ago. But, if you just want that thrill of like getting that box in the mail, like you get from Tackle Warehouse, because it's fun, right? It's like Christmas. Guy shows up and you open it up and you're pulling lures. And that's what's cool about like all those mystery boxes and stuff some of these guys are doing right now. Support Canadian retailers. The prices are pretty much the same, if not better. The exchange rate's horrible right now. By the time you order and ship it. So I'm not sitting here. It's just,
it's important.
You guys, it's important. It's very, very important because, you know, some of these guys, especially in some of these like northern communities and stuff like that, a little bit smaller, like it's real. Like some of them are actually fearing for their business right now. It's a real thing. So
and we've missed out on a ton of stuff. Kyle and I, Kyle is the Daiwa rep. We had planned to go to every Daiwa dealer that we possibly could on a road trip. And I was really excited because I like going to all the different fishing stores to see all the stuff. And we had to cancel it because of this COVID-19. But I'm really hoping in the summer or in the fall that I really like going to fishing stores. I like going to Pro J's. I don't get to go there a ton. But when you go into Pro J's, you're going to see stuff you've never seen before.
Oh yeah.
So like,
right? Natural Sports in London, you and I went and did that. Awesome store.
And like I have a challenge
Hamilton,
for like all these local dealers, like they're usually the ones that supporting the local derbies, tournaments, bass clubs, to every level, right up to CSFL, to the grassroots guys. So everyone remember that too when you're purchasing, right? Like stuff like that. But I have a challenge for everybody this summer. Visit one new fishing store you've never been into, at least one. If you're going to fish a tournament in Eastern Ontario, go see somebody in Eastern Ontario. If you're bored one day before bass opener, take a drive to Southwestern Ontario. Like the other side of Toronto, there's so many good dealers down there. Like I can't even begin naming them all, but like you could start, like you could, you know, right through Toronto, you could go on like Pro J, JB's Fishing Depot, you know, down to Natural Sports, Angling Sports in London, fantastic store, huge. You know, that's not even like towards Niagara and Hamilton Fishing World, Erie Trackers, Grimsby Tackle, Peters Tackle, like the list goes on and on and on, right? Like there's so many great stores out there. Guys don't even know they exist. And like some of them have absolute gems. The guys have tons of knowledge. Like, you know, just go for a road trip. And you know what's really interesting is on the gun and the firearm side of the industry, we see, so if you work an event on a Saturday or like a dealer open house, you see so many guys. What are you doing? Oh, we're out for the day. We're doing a road trip. We're going to all these firearm retailers around the GTA or whatever. You don't hear about guys doing that in fishing. Like, and it was no different than me preaching, and it's not because I'm biased or I'm the show organizer. I always said, load up the truck with your buddies, grab a coffee, drive to the Peterborough Fishing Show. If it's an hour drive, make a day of it. Like, talk fishing stories, buy some tackle, go home. Same thing. Load up, when this is all said and done, before bass opener, load up a truck with a buddy, grab some Tim Hortons, grab a box of Timbits, pick 5 good stores, hit them all. Right?
Well,
this is awesome. I'm so excited.
Spending $10 in each of them will make a huge difference.
Big time. There's a reason when you came to the OBN night that we held last year, there was a reason that we had the parking lot blocked off, and we had the event outside. You could have easily walked just right into the parking lot and totally skipped the store. But we blocked the parking lot off. We weren't letting anybody into the parking lot. We wanted to direct people through the store to see what a beautiful store it was, and that it wasn't just amazing fishing and amazing hunting, right? It was also a huge firearms. They got their range there. They got the bow range there. So much stuff that store has to offer. And so many people went through there. Were like, wow, I've never been here before, and I'll be back.
And here's another thing. My favorite thing about going to new stores when we're traveling, like we've stopped at a ton of hole-in-the-wall stores. Sometimes it's not even a fishing store up north. It's like a convenience store that has an awesome fishing section. You go to I go to my local stores all the time. When you go somewhere new, the guy in there knows the juice of that lake. It
Sure he does.
Some jerk bait that's like this weird color, right? You may take your clown jerk bait that works on Rice Lake, and he's like, that's not the one. You're going to want to get one of these. So then you go out on the lake that day, or a special jig, right? I'm a black guy, but I have gone up north when they were like, no, these fish eat smallmouth that were eating shiners, that were eating smelt, and they were like, this is the color you need. Sometimes you bring that home and you got something you would never use, and all of a sudden it's juicier too.
You just expanded your arsenal.
That's right. Absolutely.
For sure. And just because, you know, like it's everywhere, whether it's the same species or not, like every fishery is a little bit different. Like fish are educated, right? Different pressures, they're used to seeing stuff like that. It's amazing some of the lures you find in certain stores. And, you know, like there's some stores that are so good. Like I know there's a ton of people watching this that would drive up north. Like they'd probably go Sudbury, Timmins. Like if you're blowing through Sudbury and you haven't stopped at Ramaco's, like Source for Sport, just to name one, you're crazy. If you haven't been in North Bay and stopped at North Bay Outfitters, probably the best selection of muskie and pike pike lures in the province by none. If you went and saw Thomas, like that guy has stuff from Europe and all over the place. He's from Poland himself, like stuff that you don't see in the stores. You know,
Which
in
store
Southern
is this,
Ontario.
Kyle? Where is this?
That's North Bay Outfitters in North Bay, that one.
Okay.
Or if you're going up to Pomogamy, you stop at Gramps, literally a convenience store and gas station on the way up Highway 11. He's got all the juice there for local stuff. So, you know, like I'm just saying, guys, like it's rough out there for everybody. Like everybody's feeling it right now. People are off work. It doesn't matter what field you're in, but you know, support your local outdoor dealer now, because you know what, it's not going to be the same if those little stores aren't around, right? So, like I said, some of them are doing online orders, some of them you're doing call or whatnot. But you know what? Like I said, just find a way to kind of keep your money within our economy to an extent. And I think we can all get through this together. And that's kind of a message that as an industry, we're kind of, you know, we're all friends. We all get along. And it's amazing how many, like everyone's checking on each other. Like I'm getting calls from other fishing reps and, you know, firearms reps. Hey, how you doing? You guys holding up? You need anything? You get everything good? And everyone's good. And we're all going to get through this and we're going to come out of this better. And I don't want to like keep putting in everybody's head, because I know we've talked about it a million times over, but you know what? There's a lot of really, really good deals out there right now in fishing tackle. Like probably some of the best deals you're ever going to see, because guys aren't afraid to put some stuff on sale and liquidate some stuff in the cash and get through this, right? So take advantage of it. Don't go in there and, you know, try to talk a guy down. Respect that he's got to make a living, and might not be the best time to ask for a deal. You know, help support a local business.
And this is why it's so important for us to keep the hunting and fishing seasons open right now. Because without the hunting and fishing seasons, it's not going to drive the sales.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't really have an opinion on it one way or another. Like, obviously I'm in a position where I see both sides of it. I want everybody to do it safe. My biggest thing is if you guys are going to fish this weekend or turkey hunt, I know I'll be going turkey hunting. I have private property that my family owns. I got turkeys on it. I'll be safe and all that stuff. Just respect everybody around you. But biggest thing is respect the landowners if you are hunting private property or fishing it or whatever. And, you know, even if you want to make the argument they don't own the water, if you still have to walk through their property to access it, please knock on their door and ask permission. Like, you have no idea how far it goes with these people. Then just nothing ticks somebody off more than seeing somebody walk through their backyard and wonder what they're doing, especially in the times we're in right now. Like, I wouldn't really want a stranger just, you know, coming. So just, you know, stay safe. But like getting back what Sean said, like we do need to drive the economy in all forms, not just fishing. We have to keep everything going. We got to keep, you know, general stuff going, building houses, this and that in a safe manner. And, you know, respect the social distancing. Let's see what we can do, because you know what? I'm not a big trout guy. I'm not going to be on the river. It's really never been like my personal thing. I have no problem with it. I like it, but I've always been such an avid turkey hunter that time of year. Like that's my day, turkey season. But walleye in a few weeks, the Corfu walleye opener, that's also my day, right? So a lot of stuff can change.
It's not Mark's day.
Corf is okay. It's just that Trenton eats crap.
So like,
I just want to throw this. I don't mean to cut in, guys, but I want to throw this out there. I'm getting there's some comments on YouTube where people are shouting out their local stores.
Yeah,
keep doing that, and on on Facebook, throw out your local store out there so that people know.
Yeah, get on the live well, share it. If any tackle places out there, get on live well, share it so we all know you're there.
I think at FearFishing, you guys should start an official thread. We'll put a huge list of like tackle stores in there. You know, we can start with Ontario. We can kind of get it nationwide. Everyone just start adding the list. You know, I got
a proposal here. Why don't we, when this is all over, we'll do the Tackle Tour 2020, and we'll load up a big old bus and just hit as many tackle stores as we can. It's a shopping thing for dads. And,
I got to throw something.
That's such a good idea.
We'll sell tickets.
Tackle tour.
Yeah, man.
How much fun would that
be? A tackle tour. It'd be amazing.
How much fun would that be?
I think it's a great idea.
FearFishing tackle tour. You guys rent the bus, make a wicked lunch stop somewhere, hit all these tackle stores. I think you guys are on something. Hit a bar after.
I think people would. We'd have to get the party bus though, the one with the stripper pole.
Oh yeah,
rent the limo. The limo bus.
I want to see Mark dance.
You've seen him dance. You just want to see him dance again.
I think a FearFishing tackle tour would sell out, my friend. And you know,
I think there'd be a lot of people come hang out with us on that day.
It'd be a great time.
You're smiling.
You're gonna bring a bunch of people.
Great idea.
How many times have I told you guys I have great ideas?
So
I don't
we're
know.
talking like we would get a bus and we would sell tickets to go on the tackle tour with us, kind of like a Bills game roadshow.
And these tackle stores, they know we're coming, so they have,
It's
okay,
more
this
fun
is your
when they
slot.
don't.
Yeah, and
we have it
I
scheduled.
imagine they would come up with their own special deals for that day
Sure they
for
would.
people
I think
that were on our bus.
I
Well,
think
you-
this is a great idea.
And you have to do a few of them because you got like those pockets, right? Like I told you got like Southwestern, you got, Western Ontario, you got Eastern Ontario, you got all those guys out there.
There's 3 tours,
like just in
East,
Eastern
West,
Ontario.
and North.
Exactly. You got East
Let
Hill,
us
Peterborough
know in the
Tackle,
comments if you
Store,
come.
High Falls, Pro Advantage, Pro Tackle. There's all sorts of paddle tails out east. So many. Like you guys are gonna have a blast with this. Like you're gonna need to do a few of them. Like it would be fun. It's wicked. Load them up.
I'm in.
The convoy.
Load them up.
I'm not driving.
So,
No.
right on.
No.
So, but yeah, like I'm not gonna get into too much to that because I know you guys and Rob just had a fantastic conversation on it. But like, just have fun out there this weekend, guys. Be safe, and just remember, everybody is watching us as an industry right now, and unfortunately, it only takes a few bad apples to ruin it. And that's even on a good year, right? People yelling at people on docks and like it only takes a few bad apples, and unfortunately, we're all like in this together, whether we like it or not. So, but
Owen Gallant just said a tackle swap crawl.
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
I like
go.
the cut of his jib.
yeah.
I'm in.
Well,
Go coming out of that closet again.
Have you guys ever been to like a hole in the wall store where you went in and you know how everybody has bargain bins? Have you guys ever been into one where like maybe somewhere a lure didn't work, but you've hit like jackpot and it works at home?
Like
And
one of
you're
your
like,
favorite
I need
lures?
and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe these are $3.99.
I did that this winter. This winter down in Florida. Yeah.
I have actually. I've ran. Well, we all know Kevin Chatterton, right?
Yeah.
He owns East Hill Outdoors, and he comes across the most amazing deals, and he offers the most amazing deals. And I've bought a bunch of bulk purchases off him where I love the baits. They're amazing baits, but I've got so much of them that I load my boat and I don't pass a dock with a kid fishing on it without loading that kid up. Like just loading. Where parents are coming down going, wow, that's a lot of stuff. And I'm like, no, you don't even know. I'm like, here, take it, please.
Yeah, I remember you buying bins
Yeah.
and bins of stuff just for the kids, man. All those
I love it.
frogs and plastic baits.
Frogs,
Yeah.
spinner baits. Oh, I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah.
No, that's one of the,
We need more of this. When we're through this, do you think that more people are willing to do this? Do you think that being inside and trapped away from people is changing people good?
for sure. Other than like I had to take a break from Facebook. Like Rob said, I was listening to you guys chat earlier. Like Facebook was so negative there for a while. I just feel like we're kind of starting to get over it a little bit now. But like you couldn't even go through Facebook feed. I was either looking at COVID-19 news or people arguing about fishing or boat ramps and stuff like that, right? So
yeah, we really gotta.
It's really
gotta
hard.
cut that stuff out.
We're like we're in like such a better spot than like our grandparents were in like 1939 here, people when World War II.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
We're not.
You're just asked to be to stay at home and
Exactly.
social distance.
I know,
and
like,
they're getting their kids dragged off to war.
Yeah,
Yes, that's right.
So that's like it's an extreme example. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But the point being is like 3 more weeks, and like we're getting back to that like Corfa walleye opener, even 2 weeks to Quinty walleye opener. Like so much can change in 2 weeks for like the good or the better. Like in 2 weeks, we can see them go, okay, guys, boat ramps are open. Like, but if everyone just kind of talks but hey, you know what? Let's move on to something else. You guys kind of beat this one to death. But
I am more than willing to wait in a boat line for 2 hours and properly social distance to get my boat in the water and wait my turn. No problem. Everybody else is there because of the same passion that I have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm more than willing to wait my turn. So why don't we get them open?
Is this gonna be people being patient at the boat ramps, right? Let the guy unload his boat and go park his truck. Like it might take 10 minutes per boat, but same thing. Bring that coffee and those donuts. Let's hang out, trade some fishing lures, throw some fishing lures across. I don't know, have some fun with it, right?
And if you see 2 guys in a boat and they're sitting beside each other, don't be quick to judge them. Maybe those guys live together.
Yeah, maybe they're brothers. Maybe they're.
I know a lot of guys that live together right now. I know guys that are staying together since this lockdown that work together. So they're like, hey, we're just going to stay together. We're going to keep it away from our families. We're going to stay together. Those guys hunt and fish. They're like, hey, this is a bonus. We get to go hunting and fishing together.
There's
Right?
some other guys that say like,
don't
my
be
wife,
quick to judge.
Exactly. And there's other people who are saying, you know, like my wife might be fishing with me more this year because nothing else for her to do. But, you know, she's able to park the truck after and all that stuff and have an excuse to come out on the boat and fish. So if you're one of those brave guys that lets your wife in the boat, you might see a few more people getting in the sport. So. So what else is going on out there? What do you guys got planned for the week?
Well, here's something I want to. We have new Under Armour Gore-Tex rain suits coming. What's the goods on that?
Well, you'll just have to wait and find out, man.
Well, you don't know any of the.
Sell it to them.
What's going? Come on.
Honestly, these suits they've been out for a couple of years, but we actually didn't get them up into Canada last year. Actually, you won't really believe it, but I don't even know if I can say it on air, but the tractor trailer of these like at Under Armour in the States that was full of them, like these thousands of rain suits actually got stolen or something crazy. I'm not kidding. They're that good.
Wow.
So anyway, so we got part
So
of
if you'd
them,
like
but
to buy a rain suit, call Ian West at FearFishing.
So anyways, these are landing and or they're landed, so they're starting to ship. And you know what? Phenomenal rain suit. So fully Gore-Tex, waterproof. It's the good like pack light ripstop Gore-Tex. So you know, like you're getting a hook in it. It's not, you know, you're crunching it up, putting your rod locker, all that stuff. You know, magnetic pockets, and it's priced really well too. So like you're gonna be $600 for the suit. So
nice.
You know,
which is a decent price point, really decent price point
for full Gore-Tex, for a full bib and jacket. I feel like it's really fair compared to like some other stuff we see in the market.
For sure.
It's 10,000, you know, kind of level Gore-Tex, so it's a little bit lighter, but that's nice for those summer days fishing, right? Like,
that's what we need.
And at the end of the day, Gore-Tex is a good insulator on its own. It's a wind stopper, so when you want to wear it in the fall or early spring, you put a hoodie under it, you're set. Perfect. Like it's gonna hold.
You know, even in the summer, I don't think there's a tournament I usually don't start with my rain suit on. Like in the morning, when it's chilly and running down the lake there. Yeah, I've always got it on. Always.
Here, the other thing about that thin Gore-Tex is that when it's 30 degrees out and it's pouring down rain, you're still comfortable.
It breathes a lot better.
You know what I mean? Like I hate being soaking wet. Remember that tournament we fished where you forgot yours, John?
Yeah, it ain't your frog togs.
No.
Frog togs.
But do you know what I mean? Like they're like some Gore-Tex suits are just way too heavy.
Yeah,
absolutely. You just they don't breathe enough.
Yeah, you end up sweating balls and you're not comfortable.
That's right. I have like the generation before this Under Armour Gore-Tex suit, and you know you start out with your shorts and your hoodie underneath, and even if it gets super hot out, you got like your UV and your coat on. You're not getting wet, and you're comfortable.
Yeah, I got a question for Kyle. From our buddy Jeff Tripp. He's wondering, are the Under Armour suits, the rain suits, are they available online?
They are available online, but I bet you your local dealer would love to sell it to you more, Jeff.
Big time.
Yep,
for sure.
So nothing wrong with finding it online. Under Armour Canada, we support all things, but I do know a lot of dealers have them in stock. I know Mac Attack Outdoors can get it for you. I know she's on here tonight. I know many of our other dealers have them in stock or getting them. What's really cool about Under Armour is we actually do ship everything from our warehouse in Mississauga, so you get stuff in a couple days. So if you guys are interested in them, check them out. I know I can't really say go into the store, but you know what? There's a lot of stores that will gladly throw it out the door, let you take a look at it. You know, you can throw it back in if you don't like it. So there's
that's the cool thing about our community too, right? Like our fishing and hunting retailers are prepared to go the extra mile for you.
For sure, especially like there's a lot of really good people in this industry. Like
there
is. Yeah. Like I can count on like one hand the people who I think might be a little ugly sometimes, but there's not many of them, man. Like it's a pretty cool industry. Like it's a very
are any
cool
of them on the screen right now?
All three of those people are on the screen. So I like
3 to 5.
I don't like you three. So no, there's a lot of cool people. But yeah, to answer your question, Jeff, like yeah, for sure it is available online, but there's also available at your local dealers too.
I'm looking forward to hanging out with Jeff this year. He asked me to fish a couple tournaments with him. Yeah. And
that's awesome.
He's got live scope now, so you guys are all in trouble.
Yeah, I seen him put it on.
Set her up on his boat the other day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
awesome.
So
We just need to get these boat ramps open. Who do we got to kick in the nuts to make this happen?
Well, probably the coronavirus. That would help.
Miss Corona herself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just meant that vaccine, Sean. You're good to go.
Yeah, vaccine. That's another crazy thing coming. You know, this thing seems to be going down without a vaccine with our social distancing. Would you guys be into taking a vaccine for this right now, being at your age right now, or would you be willing to give your child a vaccine right now, a newborn a vaccine right now? If I was older, I would 100% take a vaccine that was proven, right?
Yes.
In its early clinical trials. I can say that, right? That, like, if it was fairly new, I'd be willing to take it.
We are opening the biggest can of worms right now.
Yeah, big time. You ready to go?
If they came out tomorrow and they said, all you gotta do is have your vaccine, you can go trout fishing wherever you'd like on Saturday, I'd risk it. I don't know if I give it to the kids or the wife, but I give her a go.
Really? I'd take the fine.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it might. Who knows?
Where
It
am I
could be
going?
to the point it's mandatory, right? We don't know yet. So
Yeah, that's a whole
we don't.
other.
We don't know.
I think that's beyond our charter of rights. There, I don't think they can make a vaccine mandatory for us, can they?
Well, isn't there? I don't know. I can't
really
comment on it. I really don't know.
Fight that somewhere. I really think we can.
I really don't.
That's a pretty big can of worms.
Gone deep.
Yeah, it is.
John's gone deep.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Carruthers, it's always a pleasure to have you. I really appreciate you coming on, my man.
No problem. So hopefully you
You're a
guys are
beauty.
gonna have some fun this weekend, whether you're turkey hunting or steelhead or whatever you're doing. I'll be out turkey hunting. I've been scouting hard this week, so
We always have
How's
fun.
it looking, Kyle? How's it looking?
it's looking okay. I think we're a little bit ahead of last year. I think a lot of smaller groups. I think the birds have broken up already, so we're not seeing like those big winter flocks. At least I'm not on my properties, and kind of some of my buddies I'm talking to, but.
Absolutely.
I've noticed some smaller flocks, some hens by themselves, some small groups of jakes.
Yep.
I think it's looking good.
I think there's going to be a lot of dead birds on opening day. I think they're going to play. They're going to cooperate.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
It's going to be sunny, warm.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yep. I think they're going to come strutting right in.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Compared to last year year was brutal.
Yeah. I think they're going to
sure.
be. I'm seeing a lot of like one tom and like maybe one jake and like 5 hens, or just one tom and 4 hens and stuff. And not just my properties. I just go for evening drives, right? Get out of the house.
Yeah,
see
yeah.
the family. Like we love it. My daughter's 2.5 years old. She freaking loves it. Looking for turkey lurkey. She calls them. Got a little
That's
crow
awesome.
call. Blows in the back seat. We want to gobble. Like, she has a blast of it. But there's a lot of birds around. So I think there's going to be a good opening day for a lot of people. And hey, you know what? Success is a good thing. That's what we want to see out there. So
100%.
Hey, Kyle, you got an Instagram account going on?
Oh yeah.
I do.
What is it?
Kyle.Carruthers.
No.
What else you got going on?
Yeah.
Peterborough Fishing Show. Got that one.
No.
Yeah.
No. We want the juice.
Iowa, Canada. You guys check that one out yet?
That's the one. That's the one.
He's trying hard not to know what we're talking about.
I know.
Is it that much of a secret?
No, not really. It's just something I do on the side. I've been really.
Let's hear it.
No, I've been.
You're passionate about this, and you're amazing at it.
Yeah, buddy.
I shouldn't say just me, man. Me and my wife, we love cooking, barbecuing, smoking meat. My wife's a phenomenal cook. I take all the credit. It's really her. But anyways, we just started an Instagram page all dedicated to craft beer and whiskey and barbecue.
And what's the name?
Yeah, boy.
Trigger Finger Barbecue. Check it out. So
Trigger Finger Barbecue.
And that's another thing that we got scammed on in the COVID. You and I were going to do a bunch of cooking vlogs.
Yeah, so like we just started it like randomly for fun because my wife's like, just start it. Like you're always posting pictures and stuff, and I'm like, all right, so we're doing it. Like we're like cooking stuff right over the fire. We got all sorts of plans to have some fun with it and whatever else. So I don't know, like hopefully we can get out of this and like we can do the fear fishing stuff we've been talking about for like a year now.
Yeah. We got a deer heart to cook.
I do, and I got a second one this week. My buddy hit a fawn, roadkill fawn.
Just nice.
Fortunately, just clipped the back end of it. He went, dispatched it, shot it in back to head, put it out its misery, and saved me the heart. So I got it in my fridge right now. So
I got the burgundy.
Yeah,
I got Ron Burgundy's heart.
Kyle, I got a
so,
question for you on
Yeah.
on Facebook here from Rich Asen.
Yep.
The question is, if social gatherings are a go, will the tackle swap be a go?
No, the tackle swap is already canceled for May 31st, and that is already the city of Peterborough is doing no events basically for the foreseeable future. So right to June 30th. So even if like I felt it was safe, I could not get a permit to do it.
Mhm.
So it's unfortunate circumstances because I took it to heart. I was really upset for a few days, and it's not upset at like canceling, upset on the situation, but like, obviously we
Put a
took
lot of
big
work into this.
Well, it's
Yeah,
not
you
that,
did.
like we took a big financial blow, but so did everybody that was attending it. Like as far as like, a lot of people do some really good business at that event. And
Sure they do.
and I know we've never like officially done it in Peterborough, but I will go on record saying that was going to be the biggest event we ever held. Like
I agree.
there's so many people like the city. So our phones rang and our Facebooks went off the hook like leading up to that event, but people like wanting to get tickets and how it worked. And I don't know if it was just like the venue change or the amount of energy that was behind it. And that's no disrespect to like Bowmanville or anything previous like that. That show was the best. It was phenomenal. But I just think like we put a lot of work into it this year, right? We had that little bit more time. We had a really good team, and I was just really bummed out it didn't work. But we do have the date for next year. I believe it's March 14th. It's already booked. So,
Nice.
I think it was all about that Kurt and Ken video.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, that's what they did all. But so
Beauties.
no, I was really bummed on that because I mean, like if we were 1 week earlier, that would have went no problem. Like literally nobody was even talking about it. And then it changed like
Bassmaster Classic.
Exactly. And it changed like hourly to like Monday, everybody calling us, you're still good. Yeah, we're still good. Okay. Wednesday, what are you thinking? We're still good. You guys still good? Oh yeah, we're still good. Thursday, we don't know anymore. Like going in there and talk to the town. Oh no, we're still good. An hour later, no, we're canceling everything. Right. So it's like it changed like every freaking minute. And there's two sides of that. Like as a business person, there's a responsible thing to do. There's a thing you're told to do, the right thing to do. Your morals, like you guys talked about earlier about fishing, it was the right call at the time, as we've seen.
Absolutely, buddy.
It was 100% the right call. I had support from 90% of the vendors on it. A few of them are still mad at me that it's canceled. It is what it is, guys. I apologize. Like I said, we offered refunds to everybody. For the vendors, a lot of them were very cool, and they said, you know what, book us in for next year and hold it over. So that was a big help too. And we have a lot of really good support on that show, and it just goes to show how awesome our fishing industry is. Like 99% of the people attending that show are just class acts about it. They were super supportive, so we really appreciate it. We really do. It means a lot.
Well, Kyle,
very cool.
Thank you for joining us. We will see you. I'm sure I'll run into you at a social distance.
Yeah.
For the next few weeks.
We'll shoot a turkey on Saturday and we'll cook her up on trigger finger barbecue for you.
There you go.
Boy.
There you go.
That would be great.
Thank you for joining us,
Kyle. Take care, buddy.
Thanks a lot. We'll see you guys later.
Hey, final thought?
Yeah, you got final thought?
Yeah, ask Kyle for a final thought.
Yeah,
you
Kyle,
guys
hook
put
us
me
up
on the
with a final
spot.
thought.
You knew it was coming. You watched the show before.
I've done the show like 4 times. I'm always like the B guest, which I'm okay with because I'm not that entertaining, but I've never actually had to do a final thought.
What? No? We should have.
Think first, speak later.
Good one.
I've got myself in trouble a few times by speaking first before I thought it through. So that's one thing I've learned the last few weeks is think first, speak later. Like I have typed a lot of Facebook responses or emails. Even like I'm still working. Delete. That might not go over well, right?
I've got scars from my childhood because of that.
Yeah. Just because a thought comes to your head, it doesn't have to fly out your mouth right away, right? Stew on it a little bit.
Think first, speak later.
Before you go, this is how good people are. Chris Play, I want to thank Kyle for how he handled the tackle swap. He informed us personally in a very professional manner. Thanks.
Well, I appreciate that, Chris. No, Chris has been attending the show before my time when Peter was running it too, because Peter did like such a fantastic job building that event. And Chris, we always appreciate having him out. So thank you very much, Chris. It means a lot.
Chris Flay's a fantastic dude. He's always going over and above. He's always making sure that we have little packs to give to kids. He's always stepping up. He's a great guy to have a part of the show.
Like I said, man, there's a lot of good people out there, right? That's why I like that's why I like the Peterborough show so much fun, social thing. OBN night is a ton of fun. I think your guys' Fear Fishing Tackle Tour is going to be a ton of fun. I know the perfect week to do that, by the way. So come see me.
There you go.
And,
Mark's driving.
Yeah. But
We need a bus.
Yeah,
you know what? Like, I guess I'll leave it with one more final thought. Let's hope we're fishing. It might be a different kind of fishing season, whether tournaments go on or not, or not. But have fun with it and just adapt to the conditions, and know we're all going to come back out of it at some point. So
Great
just
advice.
do what you can do, and you might be a lot of solo fishing, but nothing wrong with that either.
That's right.
Nice.
Mark, you can go. What's your final thought, Mark?
No,
My
I
final
got
thought?
more. I got more.
You got more?
About more? Yeah, we got more stuff to talk about.
Sweet.
Oh.
All right, I'll let you boys
we
be
got to
then.
talk about next
Okay.
week.
Oh,
All right, boys. Well,
We got
take it
big
easy.
news.
Kyle.
Later, Crothers.
thanks, Kyle.
Hi, buddy.
We got
Why
more.
Woody got such a sweet picture? Yeah, we got to talk about
I
our
know,
secret.
man.
I know, Woody. We need your glamour shots, photo guy.
Yeah. We want glamour shots too, buddy. There he is.
Hey.
So, I threw out there. Russell Lamb wants to know who's next Monday. What's next Monday's show about? We have something
It's
special.
pretty big.
We've talked enough about this coronavirus. Unless something miraculous happens and changes,
Yeah, it's done.
we're moving on. We're
We're
moving
done.
on.
Done.
Next Monday, 8 p.m., we are going to have on Jim Van Ryan, the owner of X Zone and the Rod Glove, featuring special guest Brandon Polnick. We are going to sit down. We are going to talk about what it's like to own a big Canadian brand. And we're going to talk about what it's like to be the poster boy of that brand. How does Brandon go from, how did they get hooked up? How does Brandon go from an idea on the lake to manufacturing new products that I know they're working on? It's going to be a different look. I don't know that anybody's ever interviewed the owner and the guy.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
We're gonna get a Brandon and Jim are great dudes. We're going to have a ton of talk. I know that Brandon is never going to run out of things to talk about. I think we're going to have a good time.
We're going to be able to see it from both sides, right? It'll be really good.
That's going to be next Monday, right? Back on our regular show time.
Yes.
Regular show time. Tonight was a bonus show.
Yeah, because of COVID, we're doing one a week, right? Because we got nothing to do.
Yeah,
one-ish.
One-ish.
Yeah, ish.
We'll do them when we like.
Where'd Woody go?
I need my ear jams are going to die here. I'm down to one. Let's get some final thoughts. Woody, we haven't seen you on the show in 4 weeks. You better have a final thought for the ages.
Oh man.
All right.
Go
Final
ahead,
thought.
boys.
Okay, my final thought, and I've seen it a billion times lately. If you're gonna make a comment on a post that has an article, read the article, not just the title of it, before you make your posts and make your comments and stuff like that. I've seen it 100 times, guys. Read the whole article, then comment. That's
Woody, are you good to go?
Sure, yeah. This one is, you've heard it before, but great leaders don't tell you what to do. They show you how it's done. And I hope all you guys show all our anglers and the family how it's done.
That's awesome.
That is
That's awesome. That's awesome. That kind of leads into my final thought. I got two kind of spots I want to touch on the final thought. For the guys going out and they're going to fish the opener this weekend, I wish you all the best. I wish you good health. I wish you all the best. And please, please, please show the media you're men of mug men. Follow the social distancing protocols. And for all those guys that are going to go out turkey hunting, don't forget to look beyond your shot.
100%. My final thought, I want to send all our thoughts and prayers with the people of Nova Scotia. They went through something terrible and tragic, and something that we've never dealt with in Canada at this level. Our CMP officer lost her life. I believe 17 other people that the last time I saw. So
more than that, I believe even.
our thoughts are with the people of Nova Scotia. This COVID-19 thing is hard enough to deal with, let alone a tragedy like this. So I hate to end this on a sad note, but I want Nova Scotia to stay strong. I see it in the comments here, people posting about it. Remember that whether it's COVID-19 or something like this, life is not guaranteed, and make the most of it. Be polite to people, listen to what they have to say, and like Mark said, read the whole story before you judge. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next Monday.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
Thank you.